Good morning. I think I need to stop setting my alarm for 5 a.m. because basically all that happens is I just ignore it and turn it off and go back to sleep. It's now 5:30 and as you can see as you can see, I'm camped in a live forest, not a dead one. The trail is literally just there in the pitch black. Excellent night's sleep again. To my knowledge, didn't have any visitors of any kind. Some really strange noises again though, in the distance. I'm going to assume it was elk. That's what I'm going to put it down to. But not too sure on that. Anyway, as you can see, water's on the boil for coffee. And then while that's doing that, I'm going to pack up a bit of stuff in the tent. Well, that's the trail that I came down from last night and then came onto this little flat section, this corner. Up there is where most of the elk were eating and hanging out and then just stormed off. A few of them came running across the trail through the trees. The rest of them went running off that direction. And then if you can just see the flat spot in front of that big flat log, that's where I was last night. Nice and peaceful. Nobody came past with a torch or anything like that. Had a real good night's sleep actually. Woke up once at about 10 to 2 for some unknown reason, and then straight back to sleep. No dreams about electric motocross bikes this time, so must have got that out of my head. Joints are a bit stiff this morning. That was, as well as being a 37-mile day yesterday, it was a day of a lot of up and down, just lots of little bits joined together, and it's going to be exactly the same today as well. There's nothing huge in the mix today, but there's a lot of stuff, I would say, ranging between 250 and 750 feet. Loads of it. I think my first roughly 10 miles or so today is probably going to be the most gentle. At the moment, I think I'm somewhere in the region of 48-ish miles away from Snoqualmie Pass. There's no point in getting there too early tomorrow because I won't be able to check into the hotel. Basically, what I'd like to do is leave myself less than 20 miles to do tomorrow to get there. There are a couple of bigger climbs to do. But if I can get myself like another 30-mile day today, that will be absolutely perfect. This is a junction I was contemplating trying to get to last night. But when I read the comments, there wasn't a great deal of camping available. There's one spot there. That would have done me, definitely. Oh, I've been taking pictures of these signs every time I see one. And I'm going to make a little collage of them at home, I think. So I need to get a picture of that one. I've not seen the Norse Peak sign before. But you can see how Snoqualmie is spelt there. That I keep rabbiting on about. And then I think on that sign it said Government Meadow 1. I'm going to assume that's the big meadow that I just told you about, where I saw the herd of elk. Would you just look at that? How beautiful is that? I've just taken about 10 photographs. Just with the light coming through and all the mist and steam off the meadow. It's absolutely beautiful. Dream about seeing like things like that. I know it sounds stupid, but you really do. Wow. Just slight movement to the camera. Absolutely gorgeous. The temperature has dropped dramatically. It is freezing cold here. Just look at that though. Talk about beautiful. So this up here is the cabin, the Mike Urick cabin. There are some people here, so I'm not going to go wandering around too far with the camera, but I just wanted to get a picture of the meadow here. Whoa, that's just stunning. Would you look at that? Talk about picture perfect. Well, that little stop for photography and video at the meadow was timed perfectly. Just as I was walking away, you could tell the light had changed, the way the sun was hitting the meadow, and it was just nowhere near as good. Some beautiful shots there. Oh wow. And as soon as I say that, look what's popped into view. What a morning so far. Wowzers. Rainier again, blanketed in snow. Nice and clear today as well. Not a great deal of cloud obscuring in the top of it for a change. Beautiful. I want to say a big hello and thank you to Abigail on Buy Me a Coffee. I hope you do get out and do some of the PCT, if not all of it, Abigail. The reason I'm here and the reason I came in 2019 as well was because I watched someone doing it and I got inspired by their videos, and the fact that people like you are now watching mine on YouTube and getting inspired by that means a massive amount to me. So thank you very much. I know a few other people have said the same thing, so that's really flattering. Also, hello and thank you to Nola. That's really generous, Nola, thank you. Your offer of trail magic, I don't know if you're out here doing something, but at the moment I am in that section. It's possible if you're there, I might run into you at some point in the next sort of 24 hours. If not, thank you very much for the offer and thank you very much for your support and Buy Me a Coffee. I hope you have a great Labour Day weekend. And then finally, Chris D, once again. You chose an absolutely sumptuous spot for your hike, Kearsarge Pass. I hope you had a nice clear view when you got to the top of it. Once again, Chris, thanks for your support, your continued support. And yeah, the Old Man of Coniston in the Lakes is a pretty windy old hole. I hope you enjoyed going up there past all the, I'm going to assume you went past all the old slate mining area and stuff. So yeah, I'd look forward to getting back there myself as well. Hope you can make it someday, and thank you once again. So I just popped out of the forest into this big burn area again. It does give you a very, very dramatic view across the hills and mountains in the distance. Once again, we've got those kind of like bluey greys colours. Really, really nice. Beautiful view. How cool is that spider's web suspended in midair? It looks like it's attached to the tree, but it's not. It's just completely and utterly suspended in midair. This is mile 2359.7. I've been in the forest for a little while now at least, collecting more cobwebs on my face and my gear. And this is just a little viewpoint that you get brought out onto when you hit one of the corners. You can maybe make out some jagged peaks in the distance behind those treetops. These beautiful rolling hills in the distance. It is extremely warm stood here in the sun as well. Well, you're joining me at mile 2360.9. Just got to the top of the ascent, and now I'm headed down for quite a way, I think. But we've got this little ridge here where I'm looking out, and I'm looking out onto what is an absolutely magnificent view. I'm even watching a couple of birds circling down there above the trees, and I don't think that they're crows or ravens. I think they might be eagles, but they're too far away for me to get any sort of recognition on them, unfortunately. Is that not a beautiful, beautiful sight there? What a day. It's definitely going to be a scorcher, I know that much. But that is a cracking view. Right folks, it is 1:45 and I've just had a most excellent stop for lunch. I'll be totally honest with you, and the last few mornings I've been struggling, to be honest with you, physically and a little bit mentally as well. I think today was, well, probably the worst of both actually. Just didn't seem to have any energy mentally. I just wasn't in it. It's difficult to explain, but in my head I've kind of already finished the trail. It sounds really stupid, but you know, I'm less than 300 miles away now from the end, and I know that's still a long way, but it feels more like, you know, like formality now than anything, just finishing off. At one point there was a lot of question of, you know, there's so much stuff that could happen. You could get injured, forest fires, there's all sorts of stuff that can stop you from finishing. But like I say, been allowing myself to get distracted and let my brain wander, and just this morning just kind of got on top of me a bit. Anyway, I came down a big downhill through a forest to what on the map is called Dirt Road at Tacoma Pass. And I'd already made my mind up I was going to have my lunch there. Because it would have been about 1 p.m. But just as I was approaching the dirt road, there was a wooden sign hung on the forest sign, and it was like an arrow. It said magic, pointing to the left. I looked to the left and I could see some coolers out on the floor. When I came out to the side of the road, there was a ring of chairs, like lawn chairs, a couple of coolers, table, hand washing station, fruit, muffins, tortilla chips, Coke on ice, and a chap there called Not Phil's Dad, who comes up pretty regularly. Some of you might have even met him. So I signed he's got a little guest book, which a lot of trail angels do. Signed his guest book and sat with him for 45 minutes or so. And, you know, I've said it before on a few other videos. It was exactly what I needed at the time. The trail provides once again. I think I'll actually just take this opportunity now, whilst it's in my mind, I'm thinking about it, to thank all the trail angels out there. Not just on this trail either. CDT, AT, all the other trails where people go out of the way to help hikers, whether it be providing lodgings or drinks or food or rides or whatever it is, even just encouragement. I know there's quite a few of you who watch these videos, and there's quite a few of you that have supported me. There's even been some first time trail angels, I believe. People like Brian, who I met out on the trail in the Sierras and then just took me out for a meal and treated me to a meal. Such a nice guy, such a nice thing to do. Thank you to everyone that does stuff like that, because it's you guys that keep us hikers going. It's you guys that make the trail. And there's certainly some sections of this trail in particular that without the help of trail angels maintaining water caches, giving people rides around forest fires and things like that, that it'd just make our lives so much more difficult. So yeah, a huge, huge thank you to all the trail angels out there, up and down the country. Thank you for what you do, it really is appreciated. Good afternoon, everybody. Ooh, fungus. Sorry, that's really random, but I just noticed it sprouting from this tree. Look at the size of it. It's huge. There's been some really, really cool looking ones recently. That one's definitely a contender for fungus of the week. What's going on? I've not spoken to you for a couple of hours. I've just been in the zone, or more accurately in the forest. Been walking through an area where it's just been absolutely littered with huckleberry bushes, and I kind of got a little bit distracted. So there's that to blame as well. Where am I? I am fast approaching mile 2377, which when I hit 2377.5, that'll put me at 30 miles for today. And it is just before 5 p.m. at the moment. So I'll probably hit that in the next 15 to 20 minutes. That's my 30-mile target done. I've kind of found somewhere on the app that looks quite good. There's one spot in 4 miles from here and another spot in 6 miles from here. You know the deal so far. You know what I like to do when I'm going into a town. Leave myself with not a great deal to do. It's not so much the mileage this time, it's the elevation. I'd like to knock a bit of elevation gain off what I have to do tomorrow. So doing that 4 or 6 miles will help greatly. And I've got plenty of time. Power lines. Yeah, doing those 4 or 6 miles will really put me in good stead for tomorrow. I'm not sure of the exact figures, but I would imagine it'll leave me somewhere in the region of 16 or so miles to do. Was that? That was. So you got, these are all huckleberry bushes that you see in front of you here. And then that is a huge, great anthill. Look at them all scurrying around. Yeah. Busy, busy, busy. Well, well, well. I haven't got a great deal further since I last spoke to you. Near the power lines. I passed the power lines, climbed up a bit, and then dropped down to a place called Stampede Pass, where there's a dirt road. And lo and behold, more trail magic. A couple of guys from Seattle with the car backed up to the trailhead. One of the guys, unfortunately, had taken a nasty slip on the gravelly surface and really done a nasty number on his knee. But he was sat there still, chatting to a couple of other hikers. One of them was Oreo, a girl that I've not seen since Etna and Sayad Valley. It's nice to see her again. And a guy I don't think I've met before, called Hot Mayo. His face did look familiar. So yeah, can of Coke, some grapes, Nutella, and a whacking great croissant from Trader Joe's, which I've literally just polished off now. So it's been a pretty awesome day for Paul today, trail magic wise, and I've still got my miles in, although I've still got a few to do. Just come up a pretty steep climb out of Stampede Pass, actually. A couple of people, not the first people I've seen today, gathering huckleberries. They both seem very pleased with the haul as well that they've got. Oh, the guys at the Trail Magic even let me fill my water up as well, so I don't have to worry about stopping and filtering tonight before I make camp. I can just use what I've got, so it's all worked out beautifully. Just have to find myself somewhere to sleep now. I've got about an hour and a half or 2 hours to do that. Good evening, one and all. Right, so that is the trail right there. That is the remains of a fire that is nothing at all to do with me, because I don't like fires in the wilderness. This is just proof that not every campsite on the PCT is all about the views. Sometimes it's more about utility and just having to find somewhere to sleep, basically. There isn't a great deal in this area at all. The last one I passed was full, so the side of this dirt road, which is literally just through the trees here, you see the trail and then the dirt road just beyond it. That's going to be me for tonight. It's 7:30 p.m. and this is mile 2382, which means today I've done 34.5 miles, which is pretty much bang on what I wanted to get done, to be honest with you. It leaves me roughly, I think, about 14 miles to get to town tomorrow. Which if that is true, 14.2 miles. That's not bad. That should hopefully get me there for lunchtime, and I'll have a little bit of time to spare to get something to eat and maybe work on a few videos before I actually get checked into the hotel and manage to clean myself. I don't think I've ever looked forward to having a bath as much as I am tomorrow. Obviously the shower first to get the dirt off, but then the bath is going to last for a very long time. I'm going to soak my legs and my feet for a good amount of time with some Epsom salts. God, this morning seems like a long time ago when I was taking those pictures near the meadow, but it was absolutely stunning. I can't wait to definitely get a couple of them blown up and framed. But tomorrow, as I say, 14.2 miles into Snoqualmie Pass, resupply, rest, figure out the battle plan for the next few days, and then wake up on Monday and do it all again. That's a squirrel. And the other thing that sounds like a squeaky dog toy is a pika. They're funny little things. But I've just realised there's a big pile of rock, you won't be able to see it, but there's a big rock pile behind these trees, and the pikas love to mess around in the rocks and make their homes in the rocks, and you hear this squeaky dog noise like ee, ee, every time you're walking past. It's quite funny. I hope that's all I hear tonight. Anyway, that is it guys. Take care of yourselves and I shall see you on the next one. Good night.